guys, what's today? Thursday? Is today Thursday? Yeah, today is Thursday. So happy Thursday. This is going to be probably a series of videos titled part 1, 2, whatever. I just don't know. I have literally been in the bed all day sitting with God, listening to him. I woke up at probably 6:30. And I've been sitting with God and writing and doing all the things since like 10 a.m. And it is now 3 p.m. But what I was studying does not pertain to what I was releasing. This word actually came because I was on the phone with one of my sisters in Christ, Kiara. You guys have met her because she was the last person on my podcast. But I called her to tell her about what God had given me in a dream in the wee hours of this morning. And we just got to talking about Ruth. So these are the nuggets that I was speaking to her as God was speaking it to me. And we've read the book of Ruth millions of times. I have. But this is why God tells us that his word is active and sharper than any double-edged sword. Because every time you read this, the written word of God, it's going to cut and hit differently every time. And God will prophesy to you like nobody's business. Sometimes the prophecy you're looking for is in his written word. Okay, it's sharp, it's active, you're always going to see something new if you're sitting with God and seeking his voice in it. So I want to share a few things with you guys. And like I said, I'll probably do this in parts because we just stayed on the phone for, I think, over an hour, probably an hour and a half, almost 2 hours or something like that. And God was just flowing. And I was just speaking to her the nuggets that God was given to me, and she was speaking what God had spoke to her. So I want to share a few things that the Lord dropped in my spirit when we were talking. And the first thing is from Ruth chapter 3. Okay, so this is going to be part 1, from worker to wife. Part 1, from worker to wife. Okay, Ruth went from being a worker to a wife, a worker in this man's field to a wife. Okay, so this is the portion where she goes from being a worker to a woman. Okay, a worker to a woman. And with this word that I'm going to give you guys on this particular video, I just want to let you know that when God is transitioning you from single life, right? And when you're single, you should be walking in your purpose, whatever that calling and purpose is, because everybody has an individual purpose. And a lot of people feel like once they get in a marriage, their purpose and calling is tied to their husband. No, you have an individual purpose and an individual calling. All of us do. Okay. When you get in that marriage is a ministry. So God will expand on that. But if you are single, you should be in your purpose and calling and working for the Lord. Okay, whatever that looks like for you. Not everybody's called to a platform, a pulpit, a stage, but whatever that calling looks like for you, let's sum it up. You should be working for the Lord, whatever that looks like for you, right? So as he's transitioning you, when it's time for you to transition, you're not going to look like a worker to that man, okay? He's going to recognize you as a woman of God, a man, or she'll recognize you as a man of God. But for my ladies, when he transitions you to get ready to walk into that wife position, he's going to change you externally as well, okay? And for a lot of you guys, God has been telling you to get your looks together, get it all together, like start going to the gym, do all the things. And Bible thumpers will tell you, God ain't gonna tell you that, because he's not a God of external, he's a God of internal. You're right, God does not look at the outer appearance, he looks at the heart. But baby, he cares about your outer appearance, okay? He cares about your outer appearance. And your husband's going to recognize you by the favor that you carry upon your life and by what he's looking at on the outside, okay? By what he's looking at on the outside. It's going to captivate him. It's going to capture him, okay? He's going to recognize you by all of it, okay? So catch this. Ruth chapter 3. We're going to start at verse 3. Therefore, wash yourself and anoint yourself. Put on your best garment. This is Naomi speaking to Ruth, telling her to get it together, girl. Wash yourself and anoint yourself. Put on your best garment and go down to the threshing floor. But do not make yourself known to the man until he has finished eating and drinking. Then it shall be when he lies down that you shall notice the place where he lies, and you shall go in, uncover his feet, and lie down, and he will tell you what you should do. And she said to her, all that you say to me, I will do. Ruth was obedient, like some of y'all need to be. So she went down to the threshing floor and did according to all her mother-in-law instructed her. And after Boaz had eaten and drunk, and I'm reading from the New King James Version, and his heart was cheerful, he went to lie down at the end of the heap of grain. And she came softly, uncovered his feet, and lay down. Now it happened at midnight. This lets us know that the days had changed, right? It's midnight. They're not in the same day at this time, right? She went there at a certain time, but she had to wait until he was exactly the way Naomi said that he would be in order to, lay at his feet and so forth. So by this time, it's midnight. And it says the man was startled, okay? And some versions say surprised. But surprised means like when you're a bit taken aback by what you see. You can be scared in the moment because you don't, like someone's standing in front of you, or in her case, laying down at your feet, and you just don't recognize what's going on. So it says he was startled. Some versions say surprised. And it says, and he turned himself. And there a woman was laying at his feet, and he said, who are you? I'm going to stop right here. This is what God dropped in my spirit. He asked who she was, even though he had seen her every day because she had been working in his field. So he wakes up and he's startled and he says, who are you? If I work with somebody every day, I'm not going to look at them and say, who are you? I might say, what are you doing here? But I'm going to recognize you if I work with you every day, right? You know why he didn't recognize her? Because she didn't look like a worker. She came and laid at his feet and she looked like a woman, okay? She was looking like a wife laying at his feet. As she was working for him, I'm pretty sure she had on her tattered clothes, hair probably up in a bun, looking all raggedy, whatever. So the way that Naomi told her to get herself together, it was a way that was unrecognizable to this man's eyes. Y'all better catch this. So this is what God told me. When he's positioning you in the place of a wife and he's having you lay at your husband's feet, aka run into him or be in the same vicinity as him or in close proximity, you're not going to look like the same person that you did as a worker, right? He's going to recognize you in a different way. But at first, he's not going to recognize you at all because the way you look when you're working needs to be different than the way you look when you're being presented before your husband. She went from looking like a worker to a woman. She went from looking like a worker to a woman. There's no way he sees her every day because she's in his field. And in this moment, he didn't recognize her. Even if I was just waking up from sleep and it wasn't dark up in there. I'm pretty sure there was light coming from somewhere, even if a glimmer. But if I work with you every day, my question isn't going to be, who are you? Because I know who you are. I work with you every day. I'm going to say, what are you doing here? He said, who are you? I don't know who this is for and who needs to hear this today, but if God is telling you to get your weight together, to change your wardrobe, to stop dressing skimpy and dress more modest, or to stop dressing so grandma-ish and dress, in a modest way that's still appealing, that still makes you feel like a woman, okay, do what God is telling you to do. Don't listen to Bible thumpers that'll tell you, oh, don't no man care about how you look on the outer. It's all about the heart, blah, 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 blah. God's children, his daughters and his sons, we have types, okay? I have a type internally and externally. I have a type. Your husband will have a type. Jacob had a type. Abraham had a type. Xerxes had a type, okay? And I could keep going. David had a type. We know he had a type. He saw his type taking a bath. He said, go get her. Okay? People have types. Types are biblical, honey. Types are biblical. So whatever God is telling you to do, whatever kind of transition he's telling you to do externally, because you already did the work internally. If he's telling you to do the work externally, you done already done it internally. If he's really prompting you to change your pajamas, wear matching pajamas. Make sure your socks match. Get a matching bra and panty set. Start lotioning up before you go to sleep. Go get your eyebrows up. Whatever God is, lose weight. If you're too heavy and unhealthy, God's going to be taking you to and fro, here and there. He does not need you running out of breath as you're in this marriage and walking in your calling. He needs you to be able to do this in a healthy manner. So whatever God is telling you to do, he's trying to transition you from looking like a worker so that you can look like a woman. Okay, so that when that man sees you, even though he may have seen you every day, because this may not be a brand new person. Okay, this may be somebody that you've been around before. Ruth had been around Boaz before. She was working in his field, which lets us know he had seen her multiple times. Okay, but the way he was seeing her right now, oh baby, she didn't look like a worker. She looked like a woman. She showed up at his feet looking like a wife. So whatever God is telling you to do, he's trying to transition you from looking like a worker. You done did all the work. It's time for you to look like a woman. It's time for you to look like a wife. Because what happens next is going to change your life. What happened after this changed Ruth's life. Her last day working for him was the day before. But when it hit midnight, it started a new day. And that same day, she had a husband. That was a 24-hour turnaround. And God is saying that man needs to look at you and be like, I ain't never seen you before. Who are you? And you like, yes, we go to the same church. I done saw you in the grocery store. I done shopped here many times. Oh, yes, I done saw you at the gym before. You don't remember me? No, because you went from looking like a worker to looking like a woman. From looking like a worker to looking like a wife. He literally said, who are you? Sir, you see me every day. You don't know who I am? No, because this ain't the way you look every day. But this woman in front of me, honey, who are you? Sir, who are you? So that's the first word. We're going to have to run this back and do a part 2. Stay tuned.